Welcome to Literature FEMTOR. Friends, our today's topic is going to be the Renaissance period. In the previous video, we just discussed the age of Chaucer, and now we will discuss the Renaissance period that extends from 1500 to 1600. Renaissance period in English literature is also called the Elizabethan period or the age of Shakespeare. The Middle Ages in Europe were followed by the Renaissance. Renaissance means the revival of learning, and it denotes in its broadest sense the gradual enlightenment of the human mind after the darkness of the Middle Ages. With the fall of Constantinople in 1453 AD by the invasion of the Turks, the Greeks scholars who were residing there spread all over Europe and brought with them invaluable Greek manuscripts. The discovery of these classical models resulted in the revival of learning in the 14th and 15th centuries. The essence of this movement was that man discovered himself and the universe. And the man, so long blinded, had suddenly opened his eyes and seen. The flood of Greek literature which the new art of printing carried swiftly to every school in Europe revealed a new world of poetry and philosophy. Along with the revival of learning, new discoveries took place in several other fields. Vasco da Gama circumnavigated the earth, Columbus discovered America, Copernicus discovered the solar system and prepared the way for Galileo. Books were printed and philosophy, science and art were systemized. The Middle Ages were past and the old world had become new. Scholars flocked to the universities as adventurers to the new world of America, and there the old authority received a death blow. Truth only was authority, to search for truth everywhere, as men sought for new lands and gold and the fountain of youth. That was the new spirit, which evoked in Europe with the revival of learning. So friends, it's time to talk about Renaissance as a movement. The chief characteristic of the Renaissance was its emphasis on humanism, which means man's concern with himself as an object of contemplation. This movement was started in Italy by Dante, Petrarch, and Boccaccio in the 14th century, and from there it spread to other countries of Europe. In England, it became popular during Elizabethan period. This movement, which focused its interest on the proper study of mankind, had a number of subordinate trends. The first in importance was the rediscovery of classical antiquity and the particularity of ancient Greece. During the medieval period, the tradition-bound Europe had forgotten the liberal tone of old Greek world and its spirit of democracy and human dignity. With the revival of interest in Greek classical antiquity, the new spirit of humanism made its impact on the Western world. The first Englishman who wrought under the influence of Greek studies was Sir Thomas More. His Utopia, written in Latin, was suggested by Plato's Republic. Sir Philip Sidney, in his defense of poesy, accepted and advocated the critical rules of ancient Greeks. The second important aspect of humanism was the discovery of external universe and its significance from a man, but more important than this was that writers directed their gaze inward and became deeply interested in the problems of human personality. In the medieval morality plays, the characters are mostly personifications: friendship, charity, sloth, wickedness, and the like. But now during the Elizabethan period, under the influence of humanism, the emphasis was laid on the qualities which distinguish one human being from another and give an individuality and uniqueness. Moreover, the revealing of the writer's own mind became full of interest. This tendency led to the rise of a new, which was used successfully by Bacon. In drama, Marlowe probed down in the deep recesses of the human passion. His heroes, Tamburlaine, Dr. Faustus, and Barabbas, the Jew of Malta, are possessed of uncontrolled ambitions. Shakespeare, a more consummate artist, carried humanism to perfection. His genius, fed by the spirit of the Renaissance, enabled him to see life. Another aspect of humanism was the enhanced sensitiveness to formal beauty and the cultivation of the aesthetic sense. It showed itself in a new ideal of social conduct, that of the courtier. An Italian diplomat and a man of letters, Castiglione wrote a treatise entitled To Cortigiano, the courtier, where he sketched the patterns of gentle, manly behavior and manners upon which the conduct of such men as Sir Philip Sidney and Sir Walter Raleigh was modelled. This cult of elegance in prose writing produced the ornate style called euphemism by Lilly. Though it suffered from exaggeration and pedantry, yet it introduced order and balance in English prose and gave it pithiness and harmony. Another aspect of humanism was that man came to be regarded as responsible for their own actions, as Statius says to Brutus in Julius Caesar. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Instead of looking up to some higher authority, as was done in the Middle Ages during the Renaissance period, guidance was to be found from within. Lilly wrote his Romance of Euphues not merely as an exercise in a kind of prose, but with the serious purpose of including or inculcating righteousness of living based on self-control. Sidney wrote his Arcadia in the form of fiction in order to expound an ideal of moral excellence. Spenser wrote his Fairy Queen with a view to fashion a gentleman or noble person in virtuous and gentle disposition. Though we do not look for a direct moral teaching, in Shakespeare, nevertheless, we find underlying his work the same profoundly moral attitude. So let's talk about Elizabethan drama in this age. During the Renaissance period, or the Elizabethan period, and it is popularly called the most memorable achievement in the literature, was in the field of drama. One of the results of the humanist teaching in the schools and universities had been great development of the study of Latin drama and the growth of the practice of acting Latin plays by Terence, Plautus, and Seneca, and also of contemporary works both in Latin and in English. Dances were the work of amateur actors, schoolboys, or students of the universities, and the inns of court, and were often given in honor of the visits of royal persons or ambassadors. Their significance lies in the fact that they brought the educated classes into touch with a much more highly developed kind of drama than the older English play. About the middle of 16th century, some academic writers made attempts to write original plays in English on the Latin model. The three important plays of this type are Nicholas Udall's Ralph Roister Doister, John Still's Grummer Girton's Needle, and Thomas Sackville's Gorboduc or Ferex and Porrex. The first two are comedies and last one a tragedy. All these plays are monotonous and do not possess much literary merit. The second period of Elizabethan drama was dominated by the university wits, a professional set of literary men. Of this little constellations, Marlowe was the central sun, and round him revolved as minor stars Lilly, Green, Peel, Lodge, and Nash. This was all about our today's video on the introduction of Renaissance period. Today, we just discussed the four major characteristics of humanism, and we just discussed the major background of the age. In the next upcoming videos, we will discuss the university major writers like Shakespeare, Ben Jonson, Spenser, and the more like that. So thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel and share my videos if you like. There is no obligation.